Well, good morning, good morning. Breakfast with Dr. J. I've done this twice. I actually made the mistake and actually put it on in the Sales Authority Club, like our membership club. So I thought I'd better do it again for our Sales Success Club gang, because there's lots of you that might need to know this. So instead of actually just cutting and pasting it, which I can't do from the club, I'm going to do it again. So for those of you that are a member, well, of both, then all good. Good morning, Gavin. How are you, my friend? Hope you're good in New Zealand. Gang, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, and as the dust settles, we're in the new normal. I think we've got to stop saying when it becomes normal again, because I think one of the big rocks is this is what normal is now. And it's not what happens to us, it's what we do about it. And we're all, many of you are getting on the front foot. And I've been working with all of our members in the Sales Authority Club and all of our people, our clients as well, in getting them shifted onto a virtual product and a virtual delivery and all of the stuff that we're going to be utilizing for the foreseeable future is going to be online. Hi there, Brad. Good to meet you. Hope you're back in Australia. If you're still in Europe, stay safe, my friend. So if we are getting on the front foot and learning new stuff, just the other day in the Sales Authority Club, we were teaching people how to use YouTube and getting all of their videos done and so forth, because there's great opportunities. Because after this is done, guys, after this is all done and dusted, we're going to have different ways to do things that we're going to do eventually anyway. This has fast-tracked us, sure. It's not the way that we want to do it. It's been very difficult for all of us, me included. But if we get on the front foot and start learning the good stuff, then guess what? We're going to have a huge opportunity in the future. I mean, we have a lot of people that I work with in the health and fitness industry. Gee, they're reeling. But you know what? Some are actually doing things differently. They've started to do their virtual products. They're doing virtual consulting. They're doing weight loss. We've got physiotherapists doing tele presentations to helping people. This is what's going to happen in the future anyway, so why don't we start getting onto it now? Now, one of the big rocks here is once you've got your delivery done and you know how to do this, it's now going to be your sales process. And I've seen a few people try it and it's been clunky. We've actually designed a new way of doing it and actually has streamlined it and makes it very easy to close. But if you're doing all this stuff online, let me give you the heads up again. You're going to have a problem. There's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people which are going to use cyber now. So my question to you is, all right, if that's the case, how protected are you? I'm going to give you some ideas to take away, because if you do not get protected, we're talking about, oh my goodness, we've got to get online. Sure, we're all doing that. We're getting online. We're putting some great things. Oh, there's a very clever young man, Andrew Owen, who's helping people go online with a platform. But because we're going to be going online, we're going to be more, let's say, subject to attack. Now, we're getting attacked by a virus out there in the world. But guess what? If we don't have our protection up to speed, we're going to get protected. We're going to get attacked by another type of virus, which is on our computers. I've experienced this, and I'm sure you have too. It's inconvenient, and guess what? It's expensive to fix. But now we have the social distancing. We've got a lot of people that are, on the computers. It's not when, it's not if, it's when. There's going to be a probability of you being susceptible. So what I want to do is share with you some ways to make sure that you get protected. It's all well and good saying we're going to go online, but we always worry when we have a problem that we haven't thought about. Hey, Simo, thanks for joining us, buddy. So one of the big rocks, you've got to look at your computer and you've got to ask yourself, is my operating system up to date? Now, an operating system is what runs your computer. It's not all your application, it's the operating systems. If you're anything about anybody like me, I didn't like changing the operating system. Why? Because it changes how you use the computer a little bit. And sometimes I went, oh my goodness, I don't want to learn the new way of doing it. I'll just use the old operating system. It works fine. But guys, what's in the operating system is the firewall. And what Microsoft and all the people do, they create the operating systems. They strengthen the firewall so it doesn't have the bugs coming in. I want to say the bugs are the viruses. Now, it's not just viruses. It's a thing called malwares. It's also things called Trojan horses. Now, what are those things? Well, those things are things that go into your computer and you don't know they're there. They allow people to go into your computer. They can actually stop your computer running. It can send out data. It can do all sorts of things. Now, around about a year ago, as I told lots of you, I downloaded a simple PDF with a traveling itinerary. And guess what? My computer said, whoa, there's something not right. And certainly was, because my Google browser was no longer Google browser. It was a We Know browser. It looked like Google, but it said We Know. Went into the Chrome and tried to We Know it, make it back to Google. Guess what? Wouldn't change. Then all of a sudden, files started opening on my computer. I said, good grief, what's this all about? So I pulled off the internet. I rang up my IT guy. He said, gee whiz, you've got to download something. You've got to download something for your protection. I said, oh, I've got a Mac. They're fine. They said, no, you've still got to get some sort of protection. And what I did was I downloaded a thing called Malwarebytes. I'll say that again, Malwarebytes, B-Y-T-E-S. Malwarebyte is a program which he recommended as an IT specialist. So I put it in there and it said, yep, sure enough, I had a malware. But guess what? It didn't just attack my computer, it actually rewrote my Chrome coding. So I couldn't change my browser. The browser is just your Google. So I rang up the PC experts, absolutely phenomenal. They came to me, they went through and they cleaned it up. He said it was the most vicious malware that he'd seen. Around about 2 or 3 weeks later, it popped up again. I said, good grief. I rung them up. They came and said, gee whiz, it's so deep into the system. We've learned a lot more about it. Now, that took 2 visits and they very kindly didn't charge me for the first one. The reason that happened to me is my operating system was not up to speed. Hope this is resonating with you guys. Give me some thumbs up that you're writing some stuff down, because I'm telling you from experience of what you need to do. So just let me know you're there and alive. Your operating system needs to be updated. So if you've already updated, terrific. Sometimes it is already done automatically. Check that it is. Secondly, get some protection. By Malwarebytes, there's lots of them out there. I was told to get Malwarebytes by the IT guys because it's very strong. There's other ones that are a little bit ordinary. We want to have a good cough mixture, don't we? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Now, the next thing I wanted to make sure we understand is there are different types of risks. There's security risks. There's actually being hacked into. Trojan horses and malwares and viruses are different things. Virus will go in there and muck all your stuff up. Trojan horses allow people in to go through your computer, all your photographs, all of your passwords. Malwares allows them to automatically take things. So we don't want any of them, do we? So what you have to do is to make sure that you get in there and get rid of them. So I'm recommending you go and buy something that's going to protect you. I'm recommending you make sure that when you get the software, you do a scan. And what it does, it finds all the things that you might not know are there. Well, I did it. And then I said, oh, I better upgrade my operating system. Now, here was the challenge. Because I use old programs and I'm quite competent at using them, and I didn't update my operating system, that was fine. Be careful here. When I updated my operating system, some of the old programs, the applications I was using, didn't work anymore. So I then had to update my Microsoft Office. So just by upgrading your system, just be mindful if your programs you're using are old. Sometimes if they're too old, it won't work with your new operating system. That's just a by the way. Okay, next thing I want to tell you is once you actually got this done, do a full scan. Quarantine the things and just toss them out. So now you've got your firewall up to speed and you're going to be a little bit more protected. You've now got protection from the viruses, the malwares, the Trojan horses, so you're not going to be susceptible. Make sure everything is up to date. That's probably what it means. Okay. The next thing is you'll have passwords. Password security is something that a lot of people take for granted. We use the same password. I know I do, and I have. Well, I then got a thing called Dashlane. Dashlane is something that you put up into the cloud with all your passwords. But what it does, it allows you to have a very strong password. So you type in, you go in and they'll say, this password is weak. Would you like us to create one for you? If you say yes, you go pop, and they come up with this really strong password and it will update it for you. Now, when I got Dashlane, I just had all my multiple the same passwords, and when I upgraded to a password, which the paid version, because I needed it on 2 machines, it came back and that was 46 of my passwords were compromised. When we use the same password, we get compromised. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me just tell you what that means. When businesses, platforms, websites, membership places that get hacked, and they get hacked all the time, and let's say you're with a very large company that you have your software with or whatever, they then get hacked into. They get the names of all the people in there, and they guess what? They get your password. So then they go onto the internet and they type in everyone's name and then types in the password. All of a sudden they come to you, they'll type into you, they'll hack into you and then put in your password. If you have multiple passwords which are the same connected to your email address, they're going to have access to all of the things that use that password. So that's why you don't have multiple same passwords. Well, the good news is Dashlane said I had 46 of them. Good grief. So what I did was I just went onto the website, pushed the button, it changed it. Then you just need one password, and that goes up into the sky. You can, and when you use it, it automatically connects to Dashlane. Now, there's lots of these around, but I use Dashlane. The next thing I'm going to suggest to you is don't have your passwords written on a Word document in your computer. That is going to let you go at risk. If you get a Trojan horse or a malware and people are going to go in there and just type in computer passwords, there's a document with them, they'll just download it and then get into your computer and type it in, and guess what? You're gone. This is not going to be a if, it's when. So let's make sure you are protected. So the 5 ways to actually make sure you are protected is firstly, get your operating systems updated. Next thing is get some protection such as Malwarebytes. I know there's other things called Norton utilities and stuff like that. That might be old hat now, I don't know. But I know that the IT guys got me to get Malwarebytes, right? Next thing is make sure that you do not use multiple passwords. Oh, before we go to there, when you get your Malwarebytes, do a full scan. Do a full scan of your computer. Have it going through regularly, probably every 2 to 3 hours, because we are going to be online a lot more. All right? So make sure you're doing these things. Next thing is make sure that you don't have multiple passwords. Get a password security application. As I keep saying, I've used Dashlane. Once you go on there, change your password so there's no multiples. Okay, and now, next thing is, we don't want to have all of your passwords in your computer on a Word document. If you have to have them, print it out, put it in an envelope and put it in your safe. But don't have it on your computer because, you know, if you get a virus or a malware or whatever the case may be, you don't want that to have access. So there are some ideas of things that you should do to make sure that your cybersecurity is up to speed. I have an expert called Andrew Davies. He's going to do an interview with me in the next week or two for our Sales Authority Club. He's going to be teaching everyone all some of the stuff that's, I'm not an expert, I'm just telling you from a user's point of view. But I really believe it's really critical. Hi there, Tony. Thanks for joining us. It's really critical that we're online so much now. And we're going to be continuing to be online. And once you've got your products or services and your delivery sorted out, it's going to be a new way of doing a profit center and making sure that you can help more people. We're going to get attacked in the computer, not just out there with the virus. So let's get into a position where we are safe. Get your delivery sorted out. That's going to be online. Guess what? The next big rock is how to deliver it, how to present it, how to sell it, how to close the sale, create enough rapport to do an explanation demonstration and close the sale. It is different. We've actually put a brand new process together and updated the skills you already have to actually streamline that sales process and make it very easy. And let me promise you, presenting your product or services online is unforgiving if you muck it up. The one chance mentality, boom, it's there to stay. Cybersecurity is something that we all have to get used to. Update it. Make sure that you get all of the things off the computer, get your password sorted out, get your, let's say, firewall strong, and get some protection is critical. It's not when, it's if. I keep saying it, but I want to make sure it resonates. So let's make sure that you put it into practice. Get all those things done today. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today. Do it today. Get your dash lane, get your malware bites, get your update your operating system, get those passwords off your computer and do a full scan. And then you're going to be protected. Then get your delivery, then get your product sorted out, make sure it's really smooth. And if I can help you with your sales process and getting it less smooth, we're going to do lots of things in the Sales Success Club. Need a little bit more, you know how to get hold of me. Now, before I go, have you got any questions? It doesn't have to be about the topic from today, but if you've got any questions, we've got a few people still on. So why don't you ask a few questions? I'm happy to ask. I know there's a bit of a delay and I'm going to have a sip of my coffee while I wait for a question or two. It should be when's my birthday? So let me know. Let me have a sip. A cup of coffee in the morning is just the best. Now, we got any questions there? Tony and Brad, Andrew, Gavin, Simo, all good to see you there. So any questions you had on that topic or anything else? So we always want to make sure you give opportunity to have a chin wag. I'll also make sure that if you've got any problems, we're doing lots of Zooms and calls to our clients and friends. So if I can help you, let me know. It's not just in times of trouble that we've got to band together. I think we should band together all the time. I think most of you know that. Got any questions? No, it doesn't look like you got any questions. All good. I know you got lots to do with your exercise. Make sure you eat well. Make sure that you talk to your friends and tell you you love them. And make sure you do some physical exercise. All right? Let's keep in contact. I'll be popping in a lot. We've actually got over the big hump of this last week. It's just been incredible, the amount of calls and Zooms we've had to do. But it's settling down now, so I can spend a bit more time in my groups and so on. All right, hi there, Kelly. Thanks for joining us this morning. Well, I'm Dr. J. Reach out to me if you need me. I will put up a little summary of how to keep your, let's say, Zoom meetings secure. It is encrypted on both sides, but I'll put it up there and you can have a read of that too. All right, gang, thanks for joining me this morning, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.